men saying they'd never date a or only a girl, but then y'all find out Hannah, who's a receptionist, your dad, even though she isn't a worker. The generalizations are so out. I don't get it. Wait.
Saying that
they'd never dated a or OF girl, but yeah.
Saying that those people are more promiscuous than just a normal everyday person because of their job, basically. Yeah.
Well, so you're saying like you're saying normal women can be more promiscuous than sex workers?
Yeah,
is that the
I
argument?
think so. Yeah.
Like a slut versus a whore.
Say it again.
Like a slut versus a whore.
Right,
Is there? Wait, what do you mean? Like, well, no, I think so. You mean like
you're not getting paid, but you're just
yeah.
Like you're just sending nudes to guys free,
Right, which could happen. You know, I think there are people like that out there.
Wait, so, but okay, so I mean, clearly it's the case that women who are not sex workers can be bigger than sex workers. I don't think that's the only reason men don't want to date sex workers, though, is because of either real or perceived promiscuity. Could just be that there's a stigma attached to the profession. You disagree, or?
No, I mean, I think that I'm not talking about men wanting to date them. I'm just saying the assumption that they're more promiscuous because of their job. That's all.
Are they not?
I mean, I don't think so. Do y'all think they're more promiscuous because they're sex workers?
I think you have to be like a base level of promiscuous to do those things. But I don't think it would necessarily mean that you
Okay, let me
hear.
Why don't I ask this? Do you think sex workers are more promiscuous than the general population?
I don't know, because I feel like a lot of them do it out of necessity, or maybe again out of a financial bind. You know,
Do some women?
How come if they did it out of necessity, that would make them less promiscuous? Wouldn't that make them more promiscuous?
No,
Like, aren't some women?
If you were a
prostitutes
prostitute out of necessity,
Yeah.
how are you less promiscuous? That makes no sense.
because you don't. I feel like if you're promiscuous, maybe it means like you enjoy it. You know.
What?
I don't know.
Promiscuous just means you take a lot of D.
I guess I don't know.
No, what do we? No. There's no guess,
Yeah.
right? What the hell does promiscuous mean if not sex with lots of people? What else could that possibly mean to make it make sense?
I think it means like it's like a mentality. It's like willing sex with a lot of people, and when it's like more. out of
Yes,
necessity.
willing sex with a lot of people. I
Yeah.
agree.
But I think one's just more.
So if you're a
necessity-based.
prostitute, you're having willing. Yes.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
think again, it's kind of out of necessity too, because you
So?
wouldn't be doing that if you were financially.
Well,
stable.
first of all, when you say necessary, right? What the hell does that mean?
To make money
Because
that you
there's
need.
lots of men who necessarily work 3 jobs and don't have the luxury of prostituting themselves.
They could if they wanted.
No, to who? Other men?
I mean, there's websites probably.
Yeah,
for-
no, they're
there's
not going to
market
make.
for
Do you
everything.
think that male prostitutes on average are going to make as much as female prostitutes?
Some do.
It depends on the male, yeah.
Okay,
Honestly.
okay. What did I say? On average.
Yeah, on average, no.
No, of course not. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally ridiculous. So they don't. When you say necessary, how come when poor men are broke, that suddenly they can somehow find jobs to get by, which aren't opening their legs to random
Because they know they
strangers?
wouldn't make as much,
Right.
right? But
So
women
it's not
know that-
necessary then. It's
Yeah.
not necessary.
But I guess they also don't have the ability because they know they wouldn't make as much. But
Yeah,
women
but
know, hey, I can
then
make a lot
then
doing
it's not
this quick.
necessary. Necessary means must, right?
Well, it's necessary for them to make money, and they know they could do it
They
fast
can
by that
know it's
means.
not necessary for them to make money.
Well, to live.
If you have a dead.
No, it's not necessary for them to live. You're saying I make more money. That's want, not necessary.
Well, I'm saying faster as well. Like it is like quick money.
then
you know?
still not necessary. Necessary, I think, means must. Right?
So it's not necessary to make money ever, or just have.
No, I didn't say it's not necessary to make money. I just said that there's alternative means of making money other than prostitution that may make you less, but that doesn't mean that it's necessary that you make as much as you make as a prostitute to live.
I think they just think that it would be faster.
I think that I agree that it would be faster, but how is that not willingly having more sexual partners?
Well, it is willingly having more partners, but it's for, a bigger purpose, I guess.
That's promiscuity. Promiscuity is your willingness to have lots of sexual partners.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know how it could. What else could it be?
No, I'm not like disagreeing with you. I hear what you're saying for sure.
I really don't understand though what you're saying. I don't really know how it could be anything other than willingly having lots of sex. That's promiscuity.
I think you're just saying OF and strippers, right? You're not talking about prostitution.
Well, in OF, boy girl content, very common. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
prostitution
also, I would say that. So I would say this as well, that if you were a woman who was talking to multiple people, flirting with them, right, things like this, that men would consider that to also be cheating.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah. I
So-
think it goes both ways for sure.
So even if we were to take this like very kind of charitable idea of promiscuity, which is, well, it doesn't require sex. It's like, okay, I can even concede that. And I still think they would be more promiscuous, right?
Do you think there's a gender that cheats more generally, like men or women?
I think women cheat more.
Really?
I do.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think that the availability is there far more for them than it is men. I think that men get caught more.
Why is that? Why do men get caught more?
Because I think that they kind of don't understand subtle manipulation as well as women do. For women,
Practicing gentleman donated $100. For the panel, does fisting count as cheating? How many knuckles deep can you go before it's cheating? Also, Pink Floyd, Hootie and the Blowfish, Demon Hunter, Red, Santana, Wax Taylor, and Yes Creed.
all right, hang on. Okay,
Said, and yes,
so very quickly, guys, so we can get back to the conversation. Show of hands does fisting count as cheating?
Yes.
Show of hands.
I'll allow
It doesn't? Wait, what? She was the one dissenter? Okay. Yes, so it does indeed. Okay, and
I would just laugh, though, like,
is there any?
serious.
It doesn't require more than one knuckle.
One knuckle is still
One knuckle.
cheating.
Is one knuckle cheating?
Absolutely.
Show of hands if one knuckle's cheating.
The thoughts will
Okay, all right. So one knuckle's cheating. Fair enough. Anyway, so yeah, back to this. I think on the idea that men get caught. So I think that we're just talking about basic power dynamics. When it comes back to power theory, I think that men are very used to being able to utilize force, and women are not. So men always can kind of rely on going back to force. So because women don't do this, they understand kind of subtle manipulation better, generally, I think, than men do. I'm not
So
saying
it's like adaptive a little bit just because they can't. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, well, a woman can't at any time they want physically dominate a male. Men can do this for most women, and they can also do this to other men. So because that's true, they always have that to rely on, right? Where it's like, oh, it doesn't have to make sense because I'm going to punch you in the mouth, right? So women don't have that. They can use emotional control, manipulation, things like this. So I think that they're much more clever when it comes to hiding their tracks or carrying on affairs than men generally are.
Interesting.
So now the stats would actually disagree with me. The stats would say that men cheat more. But how do you get the stats? Well, you get the stats by the admittance of people saying that they cheat or don't cheat, and people who are really good at cheating would never admit it. And so I think that women, they don't admit it because they're better at cheating, but that's my take on it.
That's
So,
valid.
yeah.
most of my clients, males who come into me, I would say probably 8 out of 10. The reason for their divorce is because wife cheated on them. So it is.
Well, think about it like this. Think of it like a superpower that women have, and they have it especially when they're younger and when they're in their 20s, right? So you can imagine from the male perspective, if they kind of analyze this and they're like, you can just get whatever the fuck you want because you're pretty. Yeah, I really can, right? Well, that's an amazing superpower. And that's why you see as that fades when women get older, they become more and more delusional. They're like, wait a second, I must do everything to maintain this superpower. That's where you get the fake boobs, the tummy tucks, the everything to create the appearance of youthfulness and attractiveness, because that keeps the kind of superpower going for longer. Men never have it. They never have the superpower. So if I were to reverse it, and I thought to myself, well, what would happen if when you're in your early 20s, every woman just would be willing to sleep with you, basically, right? Well, I think that would corrupt men really badly. You know what I mean?
I think it kind of has in society because it kind of has happened.
It hasn't
really
happened.
easily. Well, in college,
It hasn't happened in college. Women.
There are a lot of
I'll
men
prove
though,
it
who
to
can
you.
get it very easily.
I'll prove it to you, right? The easiest way possible. So let's assume it was young picture Andrew and you, okay? And we both went on the sign of right on the street of Santa Barbara right now. Both of us held a sign. I held a sign that said, I'm willing to sleep with any woman right now. And you held up a sign saying, I'm willing to sleep with any man right this second. Who's getting picked up first?
Okay, I mean, probably me, but if we both...
Why? Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Really? But why?
Because I feel like women would see you with a sign and be like, ew. But...
Exactly.
But if we both went to a frat party, I bet you would easily go home with a girl that night. And
Easier than you?
Yeah, probably.
Why?
I feel like it would be very easy. I don't know. I mean,
you feel
if
like
you wanted to, I.
So if you walked into a frat party and you said gangbang upstairs, and I'm the meat between the sandwich,
Okay.
you're not going upstairs or what?
Okay, fine. I guess if we both were trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
But-
what I mean, though, is that the corruptibility.
But I feel like this is the thing: is like men will go to the frat parties wanting to get laid, and women might, be like, oh, we'll see who I'll meet, but
Yeah,
it's not. But they're not necessarily like. Well, some are.
I
but
agree. I'm just
you know
talking
what I
about the
mean?
potential of could.
Yeah, could.
I'm just
yeah.
talking about the potential of could.
Yeah.
So
Then I agree with you.
could every woman here sleep with any given man easier than I can sleep with any given woman?
Yes.
Yes. And since the answer to that is yes, I view this as like a female superpower, because essentially you can get whatever the fuck you want based on this, and the younger and more attractive you are, the more you can employ this superpower, right? Do I think that that's very corruptible? I do, because I think, what if men could do this and women would be willing to do this? I think it would corrupt the shit out of men too. So I just think of it in those terms, right?
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. Yeah.